good.
I did. I texted your wife just now, and I just said, I've known Megan for a long time. I don't know. When did you meet her?
Shoot. We would both say different times. I'm just kidding. It's been about 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years, yeah. I started at CMT in 2005. It wasn't long after that.
Oh, wow.
That I met. Yeah, maybe around 2010, something like that.
Dang, yeah.
But
way longer than me.
Yeah, a little bit. But I said, I'm about to welcome your hubby into our new Toronto studios. Do you need me to tell him to pick up milk on the way home or anything?
Nice.
Yeah.
I think she's in New York, or she was last night in New York City, so she might just be getting up. I know they went to a Broadway play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they saw Wicked. So
okay,
yeah.
So how long have you guys lived together now?
Lived together?
Yeah.
4 or 5 years.
It's been a while,
5
right?
years.
I remember, so it was pre-COVID. I remember talking to her about living with another artist, living with somebody who's also like on the road and moving around and stuff, and how and how it might seem like that would be challenging, but how that actually can be good.
Yeah.
And she wasn't saying it like in a dig way or anything. She's like, we're so excited to see each other when we see each other.
Absolutely. It's still that way. And I mean, like, truly, it's, you miss what you don't have. And COVID, obviously, we were in there and we got through COVID great.
Yeah.
Like, when we both love this and love being on the road. So it does make the days more special when you're home together, for sure.
What about your creative juices flowing at the same time? I mean, like, is that ever, do you guys have, like, for lack of a better word, creative cycles that are going on when you're in a certain headspace working on stuff?
You know what? Usually when we're home together, we're just hanging with the dogs, going to dinner, having date night.
I see them on Instagram all the time. Those dogs get a lot of airtime.
Yeah, man. We love our puppies, and man, we don't generally. I mean, every now and then she'll be practicing a song, or I'll be practicing a song. We'll like start singing together or something for fun. But
see, this is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, we don't normally write or do anything. We like to hang out and just watch movies, chill on the couch with the pups. Man, honestly.
So the shop talk thing is just every now and again, maybe, but for the most part, that's not the mindset you're in when you're at home. We
kind of discussed that pretty early on. I think like bringing that home just isn't the best way to spend our time together, I guess. I would say that. It's like we both are in the music industry all the time, and there's a lot of stuff you want to vent about for sure. And so it's like, hey, let's leave that to our team and to our people. And then when we're home, let's try to just have fun with each other and forget about that part. Otherwise, we're going to be talking work all day long, and I'd rather know everything else about you, because I get it. We all get it. The music industry it's crazy, man, and it's a lot of fun, but we'd rather get that quality time together. No, I got you. It's front of mind for me, because I think the world of Megan, and always have, and we've had a lot of good conversations over the years. She's been kind enough to confide in me a few times about when times were not great in the business, and obviously I've been there to help celebrate when she's been doing really, really well and stuff. So I just I have nothing but respect for the way that she carries herself as well. She's awesome, man. I'm biased, but she's incredible. Inspires me for sure. She's an inspirational figure, isn't she? She is, man. She's strong. She's strong. I mean, she's she knows what she wants, and she's going to get in. She's not going to settle, and I respect that so much. That's awesome, dude. Okay. Let's talk about the third. Your career, man. You're one of the guys that is just. You obviously have the respect of everybody in the industry. The people, you can see it from the people who want you to go on the road with them. You're out here with Jordan Davis right now. You know, it's this is a constant affirmation for you every single time that you are, get noticed by the people who really. I mean, to get the recognition of your peers, those awards that get voted on by your peers are usually the ones that people like the most. And being taken out on tour with somebody is like the ultimate affirmation from somebody. So sure, man. Wow, thanks for saying that. That's what you want. You definitely want to try. You want to be respected in this industry, especially by your peers, and it's been absolutely incredible over the years who we've gotten to tour with. And me and Jordan have been wanting to do this for a long time, like since COVID. Like right after COVID, me and him hopped in a van and played some acoustic shows together just to get back out when we were just starting to play. We did, huh? We've been talking about it since then. We're like, man, we need to do a full tour one day, and it finally worked out. And earlier this year, we were out with Luke Combs doing stadiums with him, which was fun, which is crazy. So me and Jordan were doing with Ashley, we were doing Thursday and Fridays, and then on Saturdays we'd hop over to wherever Luke Combs playing in a stadium and play those. So it was such a crazy tour, and now we're doing our Canadian leg of this, which has been amazing so far. We're one show in,
Yeah.
So I don't know. We've just been, really, really good buddies for a long time. So I've been wanting to do this.
What do you think it takes for, I mean, you can be buddies, and that's one thing. Go and hop in a van and do an acoustic show together, that's one thing. But when an artist takes you on tour with them, you're representing them. Everybody who's in the building, obviously, who loves that headliner, knows that it's a stamp of approval from them. You're like, they've vouched for you in the big way by putting you on the tour. You know what I mean? You're getting like the biggest vouch of all. So if people are, obviously they're familiar with your work, but if they haven't gotten in that way, and I'm sure a lot of people who are going to see Jordan Davis are Mitchell Tenpenny fans and Ashley Cook fans as well. So, but it's the biggest vouch, right? So there's a responsibility there.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, and that's the thing too with this tour specifically. I think that our music lines up a lot as well. Like, not necessarily like when we were out with Luke Bryan or Jason Aldean, who I absolutely love. I think we both come from different spectrums of the country market. So we were out there trying to really, make fans or for me, it's like people might have heard the songs that y'all played on the radio, but they're not, I don't know who does that song. So it was like connecting the dots where this tour feels like, hey, we're coming together as this big package because we're kind of similar in the same lane, I guess is what I'm saying, of country music that we play. And it's been awesome to see. It's like it's a whole different experience on stage than it is sometimes with some of the legacy artists. So you're like, it's almost like you're brand new, like exposing yourself to them, where here it feels like they've kind of come along the journey with us, with Jordan and Ashley as well. I mean, her music is incredible and it kind of lines up. So it's cool to see the fans kind of knowing every single artist on this tour.
Like your wife, you're a fighter. I mean, a Drunk Me, massive hit in 2018, and you keep fighting the good fight, and you're there, and your output is it's constant. You obviously are driven to do this. You know what I mean? And like your voice is singular. Everybody knows your voice, man. I mean, it is quite something. I want to dig into your voice a little bit if we can in a sec, but I'm wondering where that drive comes from, because we know the business is tough. And the breakthrough thing is you're just always kind of waiting for that thing, and you've had the hits and you've been on the tours, but you keep fighting that good fight in there, man, and releasing music and not letting it ever beat you down. Or maybe you do. Maybe there are dark times. Who knows? Man, I mean, I think it doesn't matter if it's music industry or not. Everybody's got their dark times, and life just finds a way, man. But it's the highs are so high in the industry, man. Yeah. And the lows are lows, but it's like getting those phone calls when the good stuff's happening, and not trying to be cliche, bro, but like hearing your song on the radio. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing better than that. Touring, hearing songs sung back, meeting people. I love that, man. And it might be because I don't know what else to do, but it's I heard that.
It's just I love it, man. I love whatever it is. If it's drive or just being naive still or whatever it is, but when the good stuff happens, man, it's like hitting a good golf shot or catching a fish. It's what brings you back, man. It's what brings you back. And so I truly love what I do. I love writing songs. I love performing them. And as long as y'all let me, I'll keep doing this forever, man, no matter what. The
work ethic thing, though, does that come from somewhere? Is that a family thing growing up?
Yeah, I mean, my dad and my mom, have always taught us, hard work's going to pay off for sure. Sports, growing up playing sports, playing football, I learned that. And my grandmother, man, watching her, she was, she worked her way up from receptionist to running or president of Sony Publishing in Nashville. Yeah. And just seeing that drive of, hey, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't care what walls are in the way. I guess I got a bit of that, no doubt. I'm pretty stubborn too. So me and my wife both are, so it kind of works out.
All right, if you don't mind, let me talk about your voice, because it's the instrument. There are certain voices out there that really cut through, and then there are voices that you just know that I know that you could do just about anything. There's
thank you,
Phyllis, who works here. She's going to ask you to do a little game a little bit later. I'm like, I wonder if he'll do that. I'm like, I know he can. But I mean, where does that voice come from? Like, was it early on, was it there like this, or did you have to train to kind of get access to it? Or because this instrument that you've got is a freaking weapon.
Man, I appreciate that. I don't know what I just sung to records that I loved, and
what were you singing to? What were you like?
Literally everything. Yeah. I mean, from country music, like Brooks and Dunn is what got me into country music early on. But John Mayer, Brooks and Dunn, Eagles, I was also in metal bands. Like,
Yeah.
I was a screamer and a drummer. Like, I love rock music. Like, I love great melodies.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson earlier, and when I was growing up, I just loved his melodies, like Jackson 5 stuff.
Now you're stretching it up into the higher kind of like
that's a little
registers
higher
as well,
than,
right? No, that's
it's a little higher
you
than my
have that,
range,
though.
but
no, you have that. That's what I mean.
Sometimes it's. Yeah, I've kind of set myself up on a lot of songs like Drunk Me and stuff where it's like the highest on my register and have to do those every,
I mean, we're not
every
talking
night,
Gary LaVox, but we're like,
Gary and Shay Mooney, man, they're up there. But man, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing or how. I was never trained how to sing. I just kind of always just would imitate what I was hearing, and whatever came from that kind of developed over time. And I think a lot of that sitting down, playing guitar by yourself and hearing your voice for the first time. Like, I used to have a Pro Tools rig, which is like a recording rig, and like hearing yourself back for the first time, you sound different in a microphone than you do like talking out loud. And I think that helped develop something, because like I hated the sound of my voice the first time I heard it. I was like, oh, that doesn't sound right with the guitar. And so I think just little tweaks and stuff, maybe some tequila over the years.
But listen to yourself. That's like watching game tape, right?
Yeah, no, it truly is.
Yeah.
I mean,
tough to do sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. And I've done that and just been like, man, I don't want to sound like that. And just little tweaks. And I think obviously the songs, the type of songs and the melodies kind of lend to that as well. As
a songwriter, when you're trying to, I pictured you like kind of trying to shut your brain off and go to sleep and get a nap or shut down after a show. How do you do it? How do you quieten it? Do you listen to like a podcast? You got a white noise machine? What is it?
I do. So when I'm with Megan at home, we both have white noise. Like, I think that helps. They come from the left and right.
Yeah.
But on the road, the buses kind of help once they start moving. Yeah. But if it's like a late bus call and I'm in the bed and they're not moving until 4, like I need that generator of that road moving to kind of go to sleep. Otherwise, like last night, I wrote a song. Like, I haven't put a guitar to it, but I wrote a song on my phone because I just couldn't go to sleep. So it's
like in your bunk in the bus.
Just sitting there on my phone. Just wrote a song. Today I plan on like putting a guitar to it and having it done. But I got an idea and I just kept writing it and couldn't go to sleep. And then I also have video games back there in my and so like that doesn't help either.
I've got 2 kids who play video games at night, and that doesn't help them go to sleep.
Yeah, I got the new football NCAA that finally came out, so I've been playing that a lot too.
Okay, so you just said you wrote a song. You don't have to tell me everything or if it has a title or anything, but just because this could be the first time you've ever talked to somebody on a microphone about this song that could be a future #1 hit. Let's take advantage of this. Look at crystal ball it. What's it about, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, man, I just get my phone out. It's called Days Like Today, and I was just sitting outside yesterday in Toronto, and it was a beautiful day, and just kind of thinking of I just started kind of talking about the different days there are, the different kinds of days, kind of like we were talking. Some of them are hard, some of them are easy, some of them are this and that. But days like today, I'm not going to get in the way because it's usually a good thing about to happen on days like today. And it's just a simple song, but it was. The day is hard,
man.
Absolutely.
Nothing easy about
That's
simple.
why I wanted to chase it, because normally simple's like the hardest one for me.
Oh, that's so good, man.
Yeah.
It's what I was explaining because we've just started and launched a new country station here in Toronto, right? And I was trying to explain to a couple of people who've heard me now on the radio for the first time about country, and we were kind of like, I don't have to analyze the genre very often, but now with some people who are listening, I'm talking to them about it. And one of the things that I realized is that no real diss tracks in country. There's no Drake and Kendrick going after each other and stuff. Every now and again, maybe a ripple over here or there or whatever. But,
man.
But it's for the most part, it's really hopeful and positive and everything. And you just exemplified that by talking about that song about there's no days like today.
Yeah, I mean, normally I'm the just breakups. I love talking about break. Everyone's always like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "We're totally fine, happily married," but I love writing breakup songs.
Yeah.
So like I've been trying to focus on writing like something that's not a heartbreak song, maybe something uplifting. And I kind of wanted that too, man. I wanted something a little uplifting as well. And I don't know, it just kind of came to me. I was sitting outside. The weather felt perfect in Toronto. And it's like, man, days like today. We need to take advantage of days like today. And I don't know, just started humming some stuff. And ended up finishing that last night in the bed. We'll see. Who knows? But I love doing that.
That sounds like a future hit, man, for sure.
That'd be
That's
awesome.
Good. Put some good energy behind that one.
Thank you.
As opposed to let's talk a little bit about, if you don't mind, can you go back to Drunk Me just for a second?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
we play that quite a bit.
Oh, thank you
just
so much. Yeah.
what that song means to you today, all of these years removed from it, but knowing that people still know all the words.
Man, I mean, it's everything. It gave me a career in this. Like, as a kid, when you pick up a guitar, like, you don't know what's going to happen. You're just doing it to be cool, to be in a band, maybe to get the girl, whatever it is. But you pick up a guitar and you're just like, you don't dream of having a song that's impacted people's lives or that you could tour the country with and other countries with and have people sing it back. I mean, that's the greatest feeling in the world. And so that song's done so much, not just for me, but for my team, for my band. Like, we all get to play music for a living, which is insane. Yeah. And we don't take it for granted. So I don't know. That song's always going to have a special place in my heart just for the fact that it's let me see a lot of things, man, that I never would have seen. Growing up in Nashville, we went to Florida on vacations. That's it. Like Florida and back home to Nashville, to Tennessee. And, I've gotten to travel the globe now. I've been all over it. And it's amazing what a song can do, man.
And you said you wanted to be cool, be in a band, and get the girl. Yeah. You did all those things.
Yeah.
You did. The song gave you all those check.
Check mark, man. Yeah, it is crazy what the music industry can do. And like I said, I just don't want to take it. I don't want to take it for granted, especially after 2020, man. Like, you didn't realize how much, or COVID, I guess I would say. I don't know when it all kind of started. It was such a blur now, but it's like when all of a sudden we couldn't play shows and we couldn't sing songs. Even when you're tired, you're like, oh, I'd like a break. I remember when we were flying to London for the first time, and we were getting buzz in our ears that, hey, they might cancel something due to this virus, and we're like, we got to go to London. I mean, we got to do it anyway. In the middle of the flight, my tour manager comes up and is like, hey, right when we land, we got to get on a plane and get back to the States. Something's happening. Yeah. And I was like, oh man. So we landed in London, took a picture outside, went back in, checked our bags, and went home. We're like, oh, cool. We're going to get a 2-week break. That never happens. Ended up being almost 2 years. And so that really changed my perspective on everything. And when we got back on stage and I remember tearing up, man, getting back on stage for the first time and hear people singing back, Drunk Me. And you just don't realize how much you miss it and how awesome it is until it's gone. So we really focus on not taking that stuff for granted anymore.
It's true, right? You're like, take a break. Take a break from what? To do what?
Yeah, right. What am I actually really wanting a break from? You don't really, you say that out loud, and it's just something, I guess, subconsciously you say, and it's like, once it's a break, it's like, that's your life, man. Like, what are you breaking from?
Ashley mentioned when she called in earlier that you guys, had a bit of a rare day off in a city. Maybe you have. Yeah. I know you've spent some time here over the years, not much, maybe. I don't know. Have you spent a lot of time here?
Not a super lot. Yeah. Like I said, I came up here when I was 18 with my best friend to have a beer because in the States it's 21, which was a lot of fun. And
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Y'all do it right. But other than that, just a few days, playing and a couple times here with Megan to see family, but not a lot of time.
So what did you get up to on your day off?
Actually, I went to the Blue Jays store. I love, sports. So I went with my buddy to get a jersey. Went to eat at a couple cool places. Yeah. I don't know if Sheffrey's, it was really good. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. It was really good.
Shout out Sheffrey's. Yeah.
I did the CN Tower again. I haven't done that since I was 18. I wanted to
get
up
man.
there and
it's
check
it
out.
I've
did
been
some
up
tour stuff. Yeah. And then honestly, we hung in the parking lot right outside the venue and just chilled, man. Chilled in the good weather.
Kind of get to walk around. You do sound check. You get to see it empty, right? That's got to always be a weird thing, knowing that fast forward a few hours, whatever it might be, that it's going to be.
Yeah, I love the videos. We've done a couple of them where you're like in sound checking, you're playing and turn around, and then you turn around again and the crowd's there.
Love it. I love those. Don't stop doing those.
Yeah, those are so cool. I mean, it's cool for us too because you just like, sometimes you're so in the moment and you're like looking around, but it's cool to look at that view. And two, I like to get behind the drum kit and stuff sometimes when it's an empty arena or something and just play for a minute. It's just the reverb's just,
It's that thing about when you were a kid. You're like, I wish I could play in an arena.
Like, turn it up. It just sounds so good.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's perfect, man. What do you want to hit? You want to hit the third? You want to hit a new single or anything?
Yeah, man. We have our new single, Not Today. It's off the record, The Third. And that song I actually wrote in college in a whole different way.
What?
Yeah, actually, and I put it out on a record called it was called Black Crow, and it was called Just Not Today. And I did it with the McCrary sisters, who are incredible vocalists, and we made it sound like like a church. But I love that song, but I wanted it. it never felt exactly how I wanted it. I wanted more up tempo, and also it was a bigger picture song for me. I disguised it around a breakup, but it's more about wearing and owning and acknowledging hurt, pain, trauma, and just saying, like, you know, I know I'm going to get through this, but not today. Today, I'm going to just acknowledge that this is part of my life now, and I'm going to wallow in it and just figure out, you know, like, what's the next step. But, like, I'm gonna get better, but not today. And I think it's part of growing up, hopefully maturing, and, you know, life lessons that I've learned. It's the best way to move forward with anything in life. And so, like I said, I love breakup songs, so I disguised it around that. But it's a bigger picture song for sure.
Hey man, that is that's always one of the things that freaks me out a little bit about the idea of songwriters coming up with a song and then kind of like almost forgetting about it and it being like filed away in a drawer, a file, a computer, a hard drive somewhere. Yeah. And then you're like, oh my, it could be, you know, the next White Album sitting there, just, you know, whatever. Yeah, sure. And you're like, you wrote this original idea. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And like, doesn't that terrify you that maybe it could be the hit that's sitting there?
All the time. I just asked my my publishing company, I was like, can I have a link to every song I've ever written? Because I've literally, and there's thousands. I mean, over the years, you catalog them. And so I'm going back, listening to old stuff and being like, hey, let me tweak this. And Not Today kind of came from that because I was showing Megan in our truck one day. I was like, hey, can I show you my old record, like, just to show you how different, like, our voice sound, like, you know, getting older. And I played that song, and she was kind of tearing up over there, and I was like, whoa. I was like, maybe there is something more to this song. So I kind of like forgot about it, but was just showing her an old record. She was showing me an old band she was in up here in Canada, and you know, we were just doing that, and I was like, wow, this song could be something. I want to kind of revisit it, and so that's what I did.
I love that freaks me out, man. Just the idea of it, like, being lost or dusty or, number one hit, world changing.
I'll say one of my favorite songwriters in the world, Bobby Braddock, he wrote, like, He Stopped Loving Her Today, down to God's Great Beer is Good, People Are Crazy. He's got awesome advice. But one thing, when I just started writing, he said that will always haunt me, but also in a good way. He said, Mitchell, you're going to be buried with your best songs. And that crushed me because as a songwriter, 99% of the songs you write are never going to get heard.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, wow, that's in a good, but it kind of inspired me in a good way too. But yeah, he's like, think about all the great songs you've heard from all the greats. He's like, those aren't even their best ones. And it's weird to think of that, but it's probably true.
Dude, that should be a lyric in a song. Buried with your best song.
Oh, man, there you go.
Not bad, man. Or buried with your best or something like that.
There you go.
You did write that down.
Buried with your best friend.
Write that down.
Morbid.
An absolute pleasure, man. Thank you for doing this.
Always, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Are you kidding? Come on.